when it comes to 2022, you should definitely prepare for the worst. Things are bad now, but they'll soon get even worse. This is by Michael Snyder on Collective Spark. If you have a bad feeling about 2022, you're not alone. As we approach the new year, it seems like things are going wrong all around us. We're facing the most epic supply chain crisis in our history. Inflation is out of control. Vaccine mandates are killing careers, forcing people out of jobs all over the country. And America is the most deeply divided that I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. Meanwhile, another wave of the pandemic appears to be building. Our hospitals are already packed with non-COVID patients. Global hunger is on the rise, and a major war could erupt in the Middle East at literally any moment. Unfortunately, I am entirely convinced that many of the problems that we are currently dealing with will escalate to an entirely new level in 2022. For example, if you think that inflation is bad now, just wait until you see what is coming. We just got more evidence that wholesale inflation numbers are absolutely soaring. New wholesale inflation numbers from September are in and once again prove the rapid increase in prices for everyday items is not transitory, as President Joe Biden has repeatedly claimed. Wholesale prices rose by 8.6% compared to September 2020, matching the largest increase on record. The days of relatively low inflation are gone for good, as wholesale inflation numbers continue to spike at a very alarming rate. It's inevitable that these cost increases will be passed along to the consumer. Biden inflation keeps on roaring. For 8 months in a row, annual wholesale price increases have hit new record highs. In October, it matched the record high set the month before, spiking 8.6% from a year ago, tweeted Tommy Pigott. Unfortunately, some corporations have already announced price hikes that will go into effect this year. For example, check out the increases that Kraft Heinz has planned for January 9. In a letter to a regional distributor to grocery stores obtained by CNN Business, Kraft Heinz has said it plans to raise prices on hundreds of items beginning January 9, including varieties of Jell-O, gelatin, and puddings, which will jump from anywhere between 7% and 16%, and Bagel Bites frozen snacks, which will see an increase of roughly 10%. Meanwhile, Cool Whip topping varieties will see an increase of 7 to 10%. The cost of Easy Mac will rise 3.5%, while 7.25-ounce dish of Kraft Big Bowl mac and cheese will see a 20% price hike. A 20% price hike for mac and cheese, can you imagine? If you love mac and cheese, this would be a good time to start hoarding. Meanwhile, the price of gasoline continues to rise very aggressively. Gas prices soared to a 7-year high, reaching a nationwide average of $3.42 as of Tuesday, according to data from the American Automobile Association. That's 16 cents higher than a month ago, or $1.31 more than a year ago, and 80 cents more than 2019, according to AAA. I've been relentlessly warning that very painful inflation would come, and what we have experienced so far is just the beginning of a long national nightmare. As I discussed earlier this week, our unprecedented supply chain crisis is one of the primary factors that's causing inflation to run so hot. In particular, the global shortage of computer chips has been significantly affecting levels of production in countless other industries, and now we're being told that this shortage will last well into next year. The latest dose of reality was offered up by Infineon CEO, who said this week that the chip shortage would last well into next year, according to Bloomberg. Infineon, a German semiconductor manufacturer founded in 1999, that is one of the 10 largest semiconductors manufacturers in the world. Sales to the automotive industry make up about 40% of the company's revenue. CEO Reinhard Ploss made the comments at an auto conference this week, stating that the company would not be able to work off its order backlog until 2022. Of course, the CEO of Infineon was still trying to be optimistic when he made those comments. In reality, there appears to be no end in sight for the chip shortage. The supply chain crisis is also deeply affecting the distribution of food all over the planet, and that even includes food banks here in the United States. The ripple effect of the supply chain crisis continues. Now it's disrupting food banks. When there's a shortage in supply chain, it makes it much more difficult for us to be able to provide our clients with food, said Linda Hansen, the food bank director at Wellspring Interfaith Social Services. I'm so thankful for all the wonderful food banks around the country that do such a great job of feeding so many needy people. Unfortunately, their job is going to become increasingly difficult as our supply chain woes intensify. And without a doubt, our supply chain woes will get a whole lot worse once the new OSHA mandate goes into effect. A ruling by the Fifth Circuit has temporarily suspended the mandate as litigation moves forward, and that is good news. But eventually, it's probably inevitable that the U.S. Supreme Court will be forced to take up this matter, and the U.S. Supreme Court has made bad decisions after bad decision in recent years. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is telling businesses to ignore the Fifth Circuit and to move forward with getting their workers vaccinated. The White House on Monday said businesses should move forward with President Joe Biden's vaccine and testing requirements for private businesses, despite a federal appeals court ordering a temporary halt to the rules. People should not wait, the White House Deputy Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre told reporters during a briefing. They should continue to move forward and make sure they're getting their workplace vaccinated. If the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately rules that Biden's OSHA mandate is legal, it will be a death blow for our economy, and it will be a death blow for liberty and freedom in the United States. So the stakes are incredibly high, and I do not have much faith in the U.S. Supreme Court at all. But even if we want to totally disagree with OSHA mandate for now, 2022 is still shaping up to be a really nightmarish year. Things are bad now, but they will soon get even worse. I encourage you to prepare accordingly. This is from the author Michael Snyder's, and my name is Michael Snyder, and my brand new book titled 7-Year Apocalypse is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 5 other books that are available on Amazon: Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, Get It Prepared Now, and Living a Life That Really Matters. Commissions earned. By purchasing the books, you help to support the work that my wife and I are doing, and by giving it to others, you help to multiply the impact that we're having on people all over the globe. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News. And the articles that I publish on those sites are published, republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is a great help. During these very challenging times, people will need hope more than ever before, and it's our goal to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as we possibly can. This was by Michael Schneider on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.